Hi everyone! Happy Friday! Happy Friday! It's November. Holy smokes, it's November. It's so good. I see people popping in. So good to be here today. I have a really fun card project to share. Just moving my keyboard here. Really fun card project to share. I'm calling it Leafery to Wreathery. Say that like 100 times fast, right? Super fun. Really excited to share this card with you today. A little bit of watercolor, a definite big stamp set mashup that I've got going here. Just going to say a quick hello. Hi, Helen. Hi, Diane. Hi, Robin. She says, can't wait for the new Wreathery ideas. Yes, lots of super fun ideas. So we're just going to dive in. If you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. This card is super simple. I've got a stamp set mashup. I'm also doing a mixture of some watercolor techniques and non-watercolor techniques with stamping. So stamping watercolor techniques. We're going to be using some fun inks. I'm using some Gina K inks and some distress inks. So we're going to just dive in and get started because this is a really fun card and I want to talk to you a lot about the color layering that we're going to do in this card. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Cherie. I know people are popping in. I know it takes a little while to pop in because of the delay and stuff. So I try to, excuse me, account for that. But I know that you can always watch this on the replay. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I'm just really excited. When I woke up this morning, it was super foggy, like thick pea fog, like couldn't see anything. And now the sun is out. It's absolutely gorgeous. Hi, Robbie. Hi, Connie. Okay, we're going to dive in. We're going to dive in. I'm going to go to the down camera and we're going to get started. And let's do it. Let's get going. Leafery to Wreathery. Okay. All right, friends. Okay, here is the card inspiration for today. We are going to, hi Irma, we are going to create a super fun wreath. I'm mashing up several different leafery pieces from different stamp sets. Let's get started and talk about it. We're going to be working light to dark. Let's do a quick walkthrough of the supplies. Hi, Kathy. So everything is listed down below in the description, but I've kind of put some of the supplies here because I want to walk it out with you. A lot of these stamp sets are already in my stamp line with Gina K Designs, so you can replicate what we're doing today with any stamp set in your collection that has leafery and a different variety of leafery. So let's start walking through some of the colors. I am going to be working with the Gina K Designs light spruce, medium spruce, and dark spruce inks. I'm also going to be working with the distress inks of Pine Needle, Shabby Shutters, Fired Brick. And stamp set wise, I'm going to pull them in and then I'm going to walk through the different elements that I'm using from the stamp sets. So you can see that the stamp set is well loved. I am using Season of Peace from my stamp line at Gina K. I'm using Forever. I'm using Happy Life, and we're going to be using this stamp set. And I'm using this stamp set from my line called Free to Flourish. This has been out for probably a while now, but I love these leafery elements right here. These two leafery elements and this eucalyptus that I built into this stamp set, Free to Flourish. And I'm going to be using this stamp set called Sparkle and Shine from Gina K Designs. I love the 4 sentiments and I'm using Merry and Bright. Okay, so we're going to walk through. I'm going to walk through. Actually, I'm going to hold this here. If you want to take a quick screenshot of this sheet, this is a little cheat sheet that shows the inks and shows the different stamps that I'm using from the different stamp sets. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Everybody's popping in with beautiful, beautiful comments. Thank you. Okay, Season of Peace. I'm using the berries from Season of Peace. Forever, I'm using this Twiggery piece. Happy Life, I'm using this Leafery element because all of our other Leafery elements that I'm using here are solids, and this one is a line art. So it's going to create some really nice contrast with the other pieces. Love these two pieces. Felt like they felt like a leaf to me. Totally felt like Wreathery. And these two eucalyptus pieces. These are from Free to Flourish, Happy Life, Forever, and Season of Peace. And I'm using this Sentiment, Sparkle and Shine. Okay, so I'll give everybody another chance to do a screenshot of that towards the end. The other supplies that I'm using some Strathmore Ready Cut watercolor. I'm using hot press today. The reason why is I want a smooth paper, but I want the ability to do watercolor techniques with it. Okay. Kathy said, I love how you do that design board cheat sheet. I just think it's a great idea. It just kind of helps us, right? Just kind of helps us figure things out. I'm using Jelly Bean Green cardstock today. I have it cut to an A2 size. And here is my layered piece for my cardstock base. I used Master Layouts die to cut it. I've also done a little light circle on here. Now you could use a die to do your circle. You could use a cup. I think I actually used my tea mug from this morning to do this little circle. Now, you can use the wreath builder from Gina K if you want with this technique as well. I am going for a more wonky kind of wreath, okay? So I just put my little circle in here. The wreath builder is amazing for creating wreath cards, and it gives you a very symmetrical wreath. You can also do a wonky look with it, but I am going for a more organic, wonky look today. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. All right, I've already shared the inks, and I've also got some Gina K embellishments that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this out of the way. We're going to get started with our stamping of the Wreathery. Stamping of the Leafery to the Wreathery. I just kind of make up words, you know. I just make up fun words. Now the first stamps that I'm going to be working with, I'm going to create my base for the wreath, and I'm going to be working with these two, the mama and the baby leaf stamps from Free to Flourish. These are just some really nice organic like Leafery, and we're going to start with working light to dark with this. So I'm going to start with my distress inks. Hi Kathleen, just got here, no worries. We're going to start working light to dark. So you can see in this card, there looks like a lot of texture and dimension because I've built color up from the bottom up, from light color to the darker colors, from washy layers to more refined layers, more crisp layers. Okay. Robbie just said, I'm so here for all the new words. It's fun. It's just fun. We're just having some fun. Okay, this first layer I'm going to be working with some of the distress inks because I want to create a washy look on my base layer, and then I'm going to go back and add more crisp stamped images with my Gina K inks. So I'm going to start out with the Shabby Shutters, and I've got a little bit of water here in this bottle. And if you've worked with distress inks before, you know that they're water reactive. The Gina K inks are water reactive too. So it makes it kind of fun. I'm just going to do just a quick mist. Ooh, that was a little bit too much, from a little bit of a distance. Now I'm going to rotate this. The stamp is on here, and I'm just going to give the stamp a little curve there. Just a little bit of a curve. Oh, it didn't really work out because I've got it pretty wet there. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and start. You know what? I'm not digging this. I need to dry this off because I want to show you that I want to get, pulled the stamp back up. I want to get a little bit of a curve on that tail, and I need it to stick, and it was wet. So look at that. Okay, here we go. Let's put it on the other side. I need it to stick, and I want that curve happening. The stamp, when I lay it down, naturally just wants to go straight, but I want that little tiny tail to curve. She just does not want to stay today. That's okay. We're gonna make that happen. There we go. All right, I'm gonna ink that back up. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. That little stampy wants to move. Okay, we're gonna just start right here and just kind of follow and go around. And you can see that I've already not been able to go around on my circle, but that's okay because I'm gonna be doing some filling in. Okay, just gonna go ahead and ink that up. Shabby shutters. Let's get a little bit of water. I'm not too super worried about getting it super wet right now. Just a little bit, because I am going to hit the whole thing with water again. Let's ink this up, and I'm going to do this in 3. So this is my big layer in Shabby Shutters. You could do this with Jelly Bean Green too. Hi, Sandy. So I'm getting a little bit of my washy watercolor effects just by misting the stamp. And that's good, that's good. All right, now I'm going to pull in my smaller one. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I'm going to pull in the baby version, and I'm just curving that edge just a little bit right there on the stamp. Now I'm going to come in with this one. I'm going to do pine needles. So I'm doing a little bit of light to dark. And with this stamp, let me just hit that with a little bit of water. I'm going to come in, and this one goes in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go in and just kind of follow my line and just do some filler. Now the reason why I've chosen pine needles and Shabby Shutters from the Distress inks is because they're really nice complementary colors to the spruce, to the light spruce, the medium spruce, and the dark spruce from the Gina K line. They have a very similar colorway, meaning there's a little bit more yellow in that green, and there's a little bit more blue in that pine needle. So I'm just going to go ahead with this right here, and I'm going to come right here over my edge, and I've created my base. Okay, now I've got my base of my wreath. I want this to just kind of bleed a little bit, so I'm just going to I hit this with a lot of water, and I want this to just kind of create those little spider bleeds before I dry it. So that's my first layer of Wreathery. I'm going to come in and do a little bit more distress. I'm going to turn on my heat tool real quick just to kind of dry this up because we're moving along. Now, let me just dry this before I start chitter-chattering. My board is glass, by the way. Okay. So now I'm just going to dab off some of the excess water. I've got a full-on washy Wreathery base, Leafery base, and I'm kind of digging it. Okay, really, really digging it. That's giving me that washy layer that I'm going for on my base layer. Now I'm going to come in with my eucalyptus. We've got the big eucalyptus and the baby eucalyptus. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I'm going to take that stamp, I'm holding it, and I'm going to curve it a little bit. So see how I got that curve going? That's really useful for doing the wreath and going around the wreath. I'm going to come in again. This time I'm going to use pine needles for both the little eucalyptus and the big eucalyptus. So this is the mama eucalyptus, and I just kind of hit that with a little bit of water. And I've got a little bit of space up here. I really kind of want to go in and just kind of fill out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there. I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to come in down here. And again, I'm just going around the wreath in threes. And it's stamping, and it's already kind of washy and watercolory. If you don't have the distress inks, you could do this with your Gina K inks or any of your other water soluble, ooh, that moved, like inks. Ooh, I don't want that to do that. There we go. Let's just go ahead and pop her in here. Let's go ahead and give that a twist right there. I've got that Wreathery going now. Got that wreath. Now you can see that the wreath is looking a little bit wonky, right? It's not a perfect symmetrical circle, and that's what I love about it. It's a little bit wonky. I'm going to pull that up. You can see my hairline. Oops, you can see my lines underneath in pencil. When this is completely dry, we're just going to go ahead back and erase that. But that's okay for now. It's okay for now. Now I'm going to go in with my little baby eucalyptus. And I was going to do her, I'm going to pull the shabby shutters back in. Kathleen just said, really cool look. I like it. Now, this is our base layer that's going to give us all of our texture because we've got all that washiness going. Now, this eucalyptus goes in the opposite direction. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just pull her right there just for a little bit of eucalyptus look. And again, each time I go around, I'm just doing it in threes. So if you're working with different Leafery, which, you know, you probably have different stamp sets in your stash, you are just going to go around your circle in threes. So for each stamp that I brought into the mix, and these are the stamps that we've used so far, the eucalyptus and the larger base of our like wonky Leafery. Each stamp I went around 3 times and usually started at the top, one at the bottom, one over to the side, just to kind of create that base. Now, you could stop right here and let it go at this and like finish up your card and add a few little details. And you'd have this really fun wreath that's kind of wonky, but kind of super splashy. And that's kind of fun. But we're just going to go a little further with it. We're going to dive in a little bit further. I've got some more stamps here. And I've got, all right, let's start with the open line. So this stamp from Happy Life is Leafery Elements, but it's an open line. We've been working with silhouettes so far. I'm going to we worked light to dark with the distress inks, shabby shutters to pine needles. So we have our light color and then our dark color mixed in. I'm going to do the same with the Gina K inks. Light spruce, medium spruce, dark spruce. I'm going to start off though. I've got all of my little light elements going. I'm going to go dark to light this time. So I'm going to work with dark spruce first because I've got this open line stamp. And that dark spruce is going to give me a little bit more contrast between the washy Leafery elements and the dark spruce. So let's dive in. Okay, this stamp already has a bit of a curve in it, so I really don't need to curve it too much, but you could just take that little tail and give it a little curvy curve. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I got to double back, friends. I got to double back. No, I don't. I'm good. I thought I had a missing stamp. Okay. I'm going to start down here. So naturally I'm looking for some of the holes that I've made in my leaf, my Leafery Wreathery so far. So I see a little hole right here. So I'm going to start down here and I'm going to go ahead and stamp over top. Now, look at the layers that you've created already. We've got that washy eucalyptus layer underneath. We went over top of it with this line art element, this line art stamp in the dark spruce, and I'm already starting to get more texture and dimension happening. I'm going to turn, I'm going to go up here and just kind of pop that one right here. And because I'm not wetting this, I'm going for a more crisp look. I'm not adding water to this. So I'm going to come up here and just kind of nest that right there. And it's okay. I've got some elements going off the page. And that's what also gives it a little bit more extra texture and dimension. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in with this next little leafery piece. Really simple little twig. And I'm going to go in with my medium spruce. So again, with the watercolor base, we worked light to dark. Now I'm working with dark to light. And these are my more crisp stamps, my more crisp images that I'm going for. And the medium spruce, oh, these colors are just so amazing. All right, I'm going to take that stamp and just give it a little scooch to kind of get it to round out. Get that little round shape there. Okay, I'm going to come in this way, and I feel like I want something to kind of go out that way. So I'm going to go that way with it. Oh, love it. Okay. Now, up here, I'm going to go out this way. Okay, we're going out that way a little bit. We're getting a little rogue. That's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. I definitely wanted it to be wonky. And I'm going to come down this way right here. Kind of making it up as I go along. So see how my wreath is getting a little bit more elongated? It just kind of gives it a little bit more of a natural look. It also starts to utilize a little bit more of the cardstock base. Okay, I'm kind of digging that. Now I'm going to come in, I feel like I want to come in with a little bit of the eucalyptus and use the little baby eucalyptus here. I'm going to come in with the baby eucalyptus and some light spruce. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn that, give that a little angle. So this one is going to go this way. So let me take a peek. I think I want to do something here. I don't think I'm going to like that, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to come around here and put a little stamp. I'm probably going to put more than 3 with this little guy. Put that one right there. So I'm just adding a little bit more. Now I'm going to bring this up so that we can take a look at our layers so far. So you can see I've got my, let's look at this corner right here. We've got our washy layer underneath. We've got this darker layer right here, a medium layer here, and then a light layer right there. So we're already starting to look, if we look at it from like this angle, you can see the layers and you can also see the texture and dimension. And you can also see my little boogered up spot here, but that's okay because we're going to do a little splatter and add a little extra something. Now, I'm kind of digging the way this looks over here, but I want to do something right here to add a little bit more extra right there. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to come in with my solid piece of Leafery. Okay, I'm going to come in with my solid piece. And I think we're going to go back to a medium. I've got some dark colors here. I've got that dark spruce right here. So a little bit of a medium color here will give me a little bit of contrast. Okay, let's go in there. Okay, I'm kind of digging it. I like it. I kind of want to go out. I kind of want to do an out too. I might be overdoing it, but I'm going to go out this way just to get a little bit of extra right there. And it's making me feel like I want to do something there. But no, I'm going to stop. You could keep going. You could keep going and going and going and going with this by adding these layers around and around and around just to get all that different texture and dimension. And I'm going to stop because I'm liking it the way it is. Now I'm going to come in. This is going to be some really simple details that we're going to add some berries to this Leafery, to the Wreathery. Now I'm adding these berries in like some strategic places here. So probably here, here, and here. The berries come from the Season of Peace stamp set. They're right here. There's also a branch berry. But I'm going to go ahead. I've already pre-stamped these. I stamped them out in dark spruce. Set this over to the side for a minute. Now we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of color to this. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of water. Actually, I'm going to take my fired brick, put that right down there. Add a little bit of water just to get it going. I've got a little brush here that has a really super fine tip. Look at that. I'm just going to add a little bit of that fired brick. Use it as a watercolor medium. And add a little bit of that fired brick to the berry. And it's super wet. And I'm just dropping it in. I'm not going to smoothly blend the whole berry. I'm not going in. Let's see if I can come in a little bit tighter on that so you all can see it. Okay, that looks a little, there we go. That looks pretty good. There we go. Okay. So I'm not covering the entire surface here. I'm just going in and adding just a little bit of color that's going to add a little bit of pop. It's also going to be a nice little contrast with the sequins that I'm going to add. And this little fire brick color is just really cute, really nice, easy going, great color to work with. And I just use that distress ink as a watercolor medium, which is perfect for that. Now I'm going to let them dry for a minute. Okay, let those babies dry while I pull in my card base. We're doing so amazing with time today. So if anybody has any questions along the way, shoot them at me. I've got some Connect glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, hello glue, put a little bit of glue on the back here, and just go ahead and get this base going. Now, this card is so super simple to create, but it just has all of that added texture and dimension because the stamps are the star here, and we've created that wreath with the stamps being the star of the show. Love that. Love, love, love that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my sentiment. I use the sentiment strips and use that Merriam Bright. I'm going to pop my sentiment right in the middle here. And I need a little bit, oops, I didn't bring that over. Let me grab it. I need a little bit of this stuff. I need scissors is what I need. So I've got some foam tape here, and I'm going to cut some slivers and put them on the back. I want to pop this up a little bit because I want to nest some of those berries behind. Kathy said, oh, the colors, can't wait to see the red. Just that little bit of red pop there with the fired bricks. Just an amazing color. So I'm starting my videos now. right? We're in November. I feel like it's time for me to start sharing some holiday cards. And I think a couple weeks ago, I asked you all if you wanted to see a mashup of the Leafery elements. And this is what I came up with. Because I love creating wreaths. But I wanted to just kind of grab some elements from a couple different stamp sets to create this look and create this wonky wreath. Love it. So remember, any of the stamps in your stash that have Leafery elements in them, you can easily recreate this look. Every stamp in my line, for some reason, I always have a lot of Leafery. Now, we're going to come in. I've got my little... I'm going to have to zap these because they're a little bit wet. So let's just give them a quick zap. Without burning my finger, right? Let's see what happens. Whew. Kind of burnt. A little bit burning. I try not to burn my finger. Cheryl says, love a good mashup. Fun to see new ways to use it. Yes. We all have so many different stamps in our stash, right? And I just love looking back and looking forward at different stamp sets and figuring out new ways to use them. And that's why I like doing these little mashups videos. I think they're fun. Okay. Put a little glue on the back of my little berries here, and I'm going to nest that one right here, right behind that little sentiment. And I'm going to put the other one, I think, up here, and this little guy down here, just to kind of get that little triad going. That little pop of red just really gives it just adds a lot of whimsy to it. It gives it a little something extra. All right, let's go ahead and pop that in there. Pop that down and pop this down. I also wanted to share, so I am also face deep, friends, in creating, where did I have that? I think I want to put that right there. Right there. Face deep in creating samples for the new Gina K Designs release that's coming Tuesday. I'm really excited for the stamp set. I know I say that all the time, and I always say it's my favorite, and I'm super excited. But I've got a lot of really fun samples that I'm going to share. So that's happening on Tuesday, and I'll do another little reminder. But love that little bit of green there. A little bit of green I used, and the red. Just adding that little extra pop. I'm going to just flick up the edges of the die cut here. Again, these are the berries from Season of Peace, and I love it. Christine said, I have the wreath builder, but love how your free-handed wreath turned out. Yes, Christine, I talked about the wreath builder in the beginning. I love the wreath builder. Love using it. I love using it when I want to do a very symmetrical, like, kind of wreath. But this wreath, I wanted to do something a little bit wild and wonky. So I just did that little circle. I'm using some sequins, some ruby slippers sequins. And I've got my picker, my Gina K Designs tool picker. I am loving this picker. It's just helped me so much with adding sequins. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 3 sequins in the opposite direction of where I have my berry pieces here. I just couldn't find the word there for a second. Okay, popping right here, and I'm popping one right there. So 1, 2, 3, just kind of around the edges here. Picking up my sequin, dropping it in. I love this tool because it literally picks up and does the release so well. Like other tools I've used, I've had to put my finger in there to just kind of get that release going. And this one doesn't do that. So it's just really fun. I think this is a little like waxy like piece. I'm digging it. And the other side is that picky tool, which is great for your die cuts and like popping out your die cuts. So Robbie said words are hard. It's funny. They are hard, especially after a long week, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a finisher here. We really did this card super quick today, which is very, very fun because there's a lot of really easygoing elements to it. Now, I've got some boogered up spots on this card, but that's okay. I'm going to do a little bit of splatter. We're going to do a little bit of splatter with some fired brick. Just a little bit. Now, this brush is very sharp, like has a really sharp point. So, it's going to give me some, a little bit of splatter. It's going to give me some little splatters. Just a little bit. Just to kind of pull that red. Pulling that red together from what I used. Splatter was a little intense. That's okay. I'm kind of digging it. I've got splatter kind of going around, and it's also pulling that red from the berries, helping that to pop out a little bit. Now, how quick did that card come together? Super, super easy, fast and fun. Not a lot of layers, right? Just a few little popped layers, but it's got a lot of texture and dimension simply by doing the layers with the stamps. And I used 6 different pieces of Leafery to create this Wreathery. Super, super fun. And it's wild and wonky and very organic. I kind of want this wreath from a front door. I wonder if I could make one like that. I've tried to make wreaths before, and it's not always been the most successful adventure in crafting for me. Cheryl just said they're having a major windstorm today. Yikes. I hope everybody's safe. Irma just said, beautiful. Robin, wow, I'm so nervous about splattering. You know what, Robin? Here's the thing about the splatter. You either just go for it and you get a big sploosh, or you just get a little bit. It's really a finishing technique that is unpredictable, but I really like it. And we did it with this red because it helped pop that red in the berries. And look, I'm going to point out the red in the berries, how I didn't coat the entire circle. So we got a little bit of that cream color coming through, excuse me, from the paper. And that gives it also a little extra texture because it helps pull the color from here. I've got to grab a quick drink. Quick drink, friends, because my throat just got a little dry. There we go. So I'm kind of digging this. So here was the original inspiration, which was more, I kind of kept it a little bit more in the circle. This I really like because I kind of went a little bit elongated. Robbie just said she did some splatter on Halloween cards and she's hooked. Catherine, great contrast between washy background and crisp die cuts. Yes. Yes. We've got that washy background and we've got those crisp stamps, crisp die cuts. That's what's giving you the extra texture and dimension. Oh, I'm digging it. Okay, I'm going to pull this back in. For anybody who came in a little bit later, this was the little cheat sheet I had at the beginning. So if you want to take a screenshot of this kind of broke down the colors, and it also broke down the different kind of leafery elements that I used for the wreath. Now, if you're going through your stash of stamps and you're looking for different leafery elements for your wreath, think about this. Think about looking for leafery that has a lot of organic movement to it. You want a nice mixture of solid and silhouettes, solids, and line art so that you get texture between the dark and the light. And look for like twiggery, like elements that are moving in different directions, like this eucalyptus. and this little twiggery piece. And this is just the little berries piece from Season of Peace. If you have a lot of holiday stamps or Christmas stamps, you're going to see berries, you're going to see leafery, you're going to see all those kinds of things. And I went with a really super simple sentiment, merry and bright, to just kind of keep it easy breezy. But I'm going to hold this for a second if you want to take a screenshot. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll also post it in the Gina K group and probably on my blog. So, you know, I'll have it in places so that you can grab it. Easy peas. All right, let's take another quick look at the card. Ah, I'm loving it. This is like record timing for creating a card. And I think it's because we didn't have a hardcore, like heavy duty watercolor tutorial today. We had a really simple stamping watercolor tutorial, and it's just made for a different kind of card experience, and it's super fun. So if you've never tried this technique, I'd love to see what you create. Please share it with me in social media. Tag me in the Facebook group, Instagram, wherever, all the places. Tag me or email me and send me your card. I'd love to see it. So this is the beginning, friends, of me creating some holiday cards and sharing some watercolor techniques, some really simple watercolor techniques you can use for creating your holiday cards. How many friends, how many of you have created your holiday cards? Not me. This is like my first one, right? And there's some samples that I've created, but you know, I'm just getting started on creating my holiday cards. So all the inspiration I just want to share with you. So, and this is great because it's a super easy going, quick card. Grab a couple things, grab some leafery, and you can make a really easy going wreath super fast. Okay. All right. Couple quick announcements. One, brand new Gina K Designs release. I know I shared this a few minutes ago. Happening on Tuesday. So I'll have a brand new video. I'll have some new tutorials next Friday on our live. I'll be doing another holiday-like card or wintry-like card using my brand new release. That should be fun. Robbie just said not even close to starting. I know some people have already finished their holiday cards. Some people haven't started. But hey, let's keep the inspiration going because you never know what you could do with this design. So you could totally take this design, this concept that we did today, and change it up with different colors for spring. And you can make a spring, you can make a summer wreath. That's the fun thing about making wreaths. You can just change up the colors and you've got all different kinds of seasons. So new stamp set release happening on Tuesday with Gina K. There will be a live. I have a video that's going to be happening for that. There'll be a new live next Friday. If you're on my email subscriber list, an email just went out yesterday, talked about this live. I also have a holiday release. I have a release of a holiday collection in my shop. And email subscribers got a nice healthy discount for that. I have a brand new class, lots of different fun things that I've shared in my email list. If you're interested in getting on my email list, the link is in the description. All of the supplies we use today are in the description as well. I send an email usually 3 to 4 times a month, once a week, sometimes not every week. And that's the touch point where I feel like I can get all the information out to you and make sure you see it, because social media, you never know. I never know if everybody's seeing things or not. So I'm going to take a quick look at the comments. Cheryl just said, I've created holiday cards for the past few years and just started with this year's. This will be a good one to add to your collection. Great. I'm glad that I could give you that inspiration. Kathy said, thanks. Cherie said, got it. Thank you. And that was from the screenshot, but I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I'll be back next week with a new tutorial like I shared earlier. And I'm just so grateful you could join me today. We finished this card in the hour, during the lunch hour. It's a lunch hour for some. It might be early in the morning for others, but I'm just grateful you joined me today. And I can't wait to see you next week and see you Tuesday on the live. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're using the tutorial and you're creating some cards and you have questions, shoot me the questions. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, have a great weekend. I'm sending you into the weekend with inspiration to craft your joy. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here in Maryland, and it's still fall, friends. It's still fall, and I'm loving it. Loving all of the leafery and the beautiful colors that we're seeing outside. So, again, so grateful to you for joining me. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends.